Hello, fellow cinema lovers, and welcome to Escape Through Movies. My name is Chance, and today we have Evil Dead Rise in 4K UHD to review. So let's talk about the story and the overall movie. I thought it was good. It was different than the original movies because it's not cheesy or corny, and it doesn't have the humor that the other ones have. So it's a lot different because that is a big part of the original movies. And to some extent, it works for it. It's definitely darker and more gruesome, and it's super bloody. So it has its moments. Like, if you like gore, you'll really enjoy those parts of the movie. It's done very well. It's kind of slow starting off. It takes like 45 minutes to really get going and to start getting into everything. And so it's kind of a little bit hard to get there. But once you get there, it's fun and it's well-paced after that, and they get creative. I don't know how I feel about it taking place in the apartment, because the entire thing takes place in the apartment building. And really, we only get to see the one floor for the most part. And a lot, like 80% of the movie takes place in the one room. And I feel like they could have done a lot more. It's kind of confined, especially because like in the originals, we had like the cabin and we had the woods and they went all throughout. So it being taking place in the apartment, but I mean, to some extent, like, it did help with certain things. Like, it made certain scenes like intense and more feel like isolated. So I see what they were going for, but I still don't know how I feel about it. But cast-wise, the main lady, she did a really, really good job. She was just deranged, and she did really good. So she was in Viking, and I really enjoyed seeing her in this because I hadn't seen her in anything else. So she does a really good job. I thought the cast, for the most part, did good. The young girl did a good job. The older daughter kind of bugged me, but overall, I thought they did pretty good with the cast. And it was an enjoyable movie. Now let's talk about the picture quality. It looked pretty good. I didn't have any complaints. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this movie looks so good, like with the Avatars or Star Trek Strange New Worlds, or some I watched recently that looked really good. But it's very solid. There's no complaints. And then some of the scenes where it really did shine is when you get to the super bloody, gory scenes where you just have people covered in blood. Seeing the blood like on their faces and on their skin, like, it's really, really rich in color. And the blood looks really good. Like, it's really good. It looks sharp, and it's very, very well done. So I thought that was one of the better things with the picture quality. There's also some good details on some people's faces and your usual stuff with your 4K. And then audio, it was pretty good. I didn't have any complaints there. There were some really good moments, like when you have people banging at the doors or things like dropping or going thud, or there were some really good moments. There wasn't like an overly lot going on. Like, it wasn't like a Transformers where it's like just subwoofer going crazy. But what they did use, they used well. Like I said, with like, there was a lot of like stuff with doors like slamming or being banged on, and that was very well done. So overall, it's enjoyable. And if you really like the older films, you might find enjoyment in this. I don't know, it depends, because it's not anything like the older films. But you'll like some of the throwbacks and some of the stuff that they do without getting into any spoilers. Some of the stuff that they bring back, I'm sure that you'll find enjoyment from. Overall, I liked it. I'd say, like, quality of the movie, I'd give it like a 6.5 or a 7. I'd probably go 7. And then picture quality, I'd give it like a 9. And audio, I'd go like 8.5, 8. So overall, I'd say it's worth it if you really like the franchise. If you're like, kind of debating, maybe wait for a sale, but I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us on Escape Through Movies.